Berry pie. The hot sun is warm on my face. This makes the breeze a relief. Nellie, Anne, and I are picking berries. Mama said we could, but we must be brief. Paul and Timothy are playing somewhere. Daddy's probably at the bar. And Sarah is with her new beau, driving in Mr. Tarenti's dusty car. I love going out with friends, picking berries under a clear blue sky. When our buckets are full, we'll head home. And when Paul and Timothy come home with Daddy and Sarah in tow, I will tell them I helped make the pies and even helped roll the dough.
In the next few episodes of Sparks of History, we're fortunate to have Khalehla Litschel tell us about the life in the first coal mining towns in Alberta. Her passion for the subject comes from a family connection to the industry, and she has channeled that interest into a book called King Coal, A Social History of Coal Mining in Alberta. She works as a program assistant at the Fort Heritage Precinct in Fort Saskatchewan. From your research then, when I look at a lot of countries, they often have these very stable populations from year to year. But when you look at the Canadian West, you see these towns springing up out of nowhere and growing to huge proportions over a very short time. So in particular, how did coal mining towns spring up across the prairies where no one had lived before, and what drove that, and what was that like?
Yeah, so I guess the simplest thing for me to answer that is I'll just read the first sentence that comes to my mind from my book, because I think it does a pretty good job of at least starting this. Coal drove railway expansion, which promoted settlement, which in turn built towns and created the foundations for continued growth and expansion of new coal markets, which sums up all resources. So when you find a resource, if there's enough desire to get that resource out, people are going to start exploiting that resource, whether it's coal or lumber or whatever it is. As people are getting that resource out, they're going to need businesses to support that. They're going to need, of course, the infrastructure in the case of mining to make the mine, get the tools, get the workers to get it out. Well, workers need a place to live. Workers need food. So you need to bring that in. And then as you start bringing in those services, well, maybe we need a general store. Okay, well, now we've got enough people. Maybe we need a couple of churches to fit the different demographics that are here. Oh, now we got families. Darn it, we need a school. And so as resources are extracted and as that space begins to be developed, those things are going to be built naturally, but only if there's an economic viability to it. For it to last as a community, you need something to keep it going, and that's this chance of economic growth. And so a lot of these coal towns, especially when coal is originally found, it's in large quantities. So there's this expectation of continued production, at least for a number of years, which is going to be enough of a draw to bring people in to settle long enough to extract the resource, make the money they can. And then depending on the size of the mine or the resource area in general, either it will continue or it will shutter.
So is it right to say there was almost a checklist? You have railroad check, general store check, housing check, lumber check.
In a sense, you do need that, and it applies to anything. Fishing industry out east, same concept. Lumber industry in the north, same concept, where the resource is found, and if there's enough of a draw, if there's enough of a need for that, enough demand, and you have the supply to fill the demand, it's just about supply and demand economics, where you're going to bring the people in, and then the people need all of these things in order to function. And so things are going to be built naturally out of that. Is it going to be pretty? No. Is it going to be nice and organized like we think of towns today? Heck no. Houses, they're just going to be tar paper shacks. General store is a tar paper shack that probably also is going to be the hotel, probably also going to be the post office. They're just making do with what they've got in order to get as much resource out as they possibly can, as quickly as they can.